Namaste Vidya, myself JV and Dr. Barkha Kurana. Today we'll be discussing about kinematics and kinetics of hip joint in biomechanics. This session is important for BPT fourth semester, DPT fourth semester, and DPT plus BPT fourth semester. In previous session we had discussed about the anatomy of the hip joint. So now we'll carry forward to the kinematics and kinetics of the hip joint. See, if we see the shape of the acetabulum, it is concave and very deep, and it is a kind of socket into which the head of femur articulates. It is not completely spherical due to the acetabular notch in its inferior region. The articular cartilage is covering the surface of the acetabulum. The cavity of acetabulum faces obliquely forward, outward, and downward. The center edge angle decreases and increases the chances of superior dislocation of femur. Acetabular anteversion angle increase. It increases chances of anterior dislocation of femur. The unloaded acetabulum had a small diameter than the femoral head. The convex component of ball and socket configuration of hip joint forms 2/3 of a sphere. Now we come to the femoral. I hope you can see this. This is the femur. And if you see this femur, this is the head, this is the greater trochanter, lesser trochanter, and this is the shaft, and these are the condyles. So here we'll just consider this part while studying. Here is the hip acetabulum of hip joint, and and this is the articulation. The cup, the shaped acetabulum articulates with the head of our femur. So if we just see the angle of inclination, this is the angle of inclination, which is about 140 to 150 degree at birth. And as the age progresses, this is approx 125 degree in range in an adult. And if this angle, the angle align from the neck and the shaft, it forms this angle. So if this angle is greater than 125 degrees, it is known as coxa valga. And if it is less than 125 degrees, that condition is known as coxa vara. Now we'll come to angle of torsion. This angle of torsion is commonly estimated at 40 degrees in newborns, but it decreases in the first 2 years of life. It is between 10 and 20 degrees and is considered normal. If it is greater than 12 degrees, that is anteversion, and if it is less than 20 degrees 12 degrees, then it is retroversion. So, and how we see this angle, we'll see it from the superior view. The person will be standing over here. The person is standing, we'll take a view from here, and line from here, the shaft is moving downwards, and is moving downwards, and a line again drawn from both the condyles. So it will form an angle, line coming from here and line going down to both the condyles in this way, and this way. So this is the angle of torsion. So now we'll come to the hip capsule and the muscle that surround the hip joint. We have 3 capsular ligaments, which are the most important stabilizers of the hip, and they prevent the hip dislocation. The capsule is thickened anterior-superiorly, and if there is any rotation that occurs in fetal development of the hip joint, the capsular ligaments are coiled around the femoral neck in a clockwise direction. It means that they are the tightest in combined extension and medial rotation of the hip joint. Now the major ligaments of hip joint are iliofemoral, ischiofemoral, and pubofemoral ligament. Ligamentum teres capitis femoris, which is a round ligament of hip joint at a femur, is also important. Transverse acetabular ligament is there. Now, if we come to the kinematics, the hip motion takes place in three planes: sagittal, frontal, and transverse. Flexion extension occurs around sagittal plane, abduction adduction around frontal, and internal external rotation around transverse plane. Now, what exactly kinetics is? We'll come to the kinetics. These are the study of forces and their effect on a joint. So whatever forces that are acting on our joints, that is classified under kinematics. So if a person is in erect bilateral stand, when he is standing, both the hips are in neutral or slight hyperextension, and the weight is evenly distributed between the both legs. The LOG, that is line of gravity, falls just posterior to axis for flexion extension of the hip joint. The posterior location of LOG creates an extension moment of force around the hip that tends to posteriorly tilt the pelvis on the femoral heads. So when the line of gravity here is passing a slightly posteriorly, so it will cause posterior tilting of the pelvis on femoral heads. The joint axis of each hip lies at an equal distance from LOG. The weight of the body acting around the right hip tends to drop pelvis on the left and vice versa, whereas the weight acting around left hip tends to drop pelvis on the right side. These two opposing gravitational moments of equal magnitude balance each other. So this is all in our kinematics and kinetics of hip joint. I hope you understood this session, and if you have any doubts, comment on the inbox. And this session is digitally powered by Digital 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Thank you.